Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Farming Simulator 19, and welcome back to Charwell. Bah. You know how sometimes when you're playing Farm Sim, you run into a lot of challenges, right? And it's challenges like, are we going to be able to get this done in time? Are we going to make any money? Right? Those kinds of challenges. And then other times, you have challenges like, what the hell is wrong with this game? What's going on here? That's where we're at right now. We are on the struggle bus for sure, but we're going to try to sort it out. So the goal today is we want to throw pellet fert on this field. We want to take this little, I always forget the number for this little tractor. It's a 6,000 something SE. We're going to put this on a seeder and take it over to one of those fields over yonder, over that way, right? Then we're going to take this here cultivator, put it to work in this field, turning under the fertilizer that we just threw. And then we're going to take this here tractor right here, all the way down to the end to the most square field that we have and see if we can get some crop in the field over there. That is the goal. Exactly 0 of those things will work out the way we intend them. But, you know what? Hope springs eternal. So this field, if I turn this back on, this field that we're in right now, field 79, the southernmost edge of it is square, right? Straight east-west. So let's head over that way, and we'll get the GPS function of gearbox set up, and we'll try to make some nice straight passes and get this pellet fert spread. So what is going on? What is today? Tuesday, I want to say? Yeah, Tuesday for me, Wednesday for you. I hope everybody's having a good day. Unless it's Wednesday for me and Thursday for you. Yeah, and I think it might be. I don't know. It's all starting to blur together. I'm telling you what, I'm just barely hanging on to this week. Barely hanging on, but that's the way it works out sometimes. Right, so we'll come over here and right about here. So we do this. And we come over here. Yeah, we want to make this 15, not 315, just regular 15. Not 135, just 15, good grief. All right, so that's in, like so. There we go. So now, if we come here, or thereabouts, right, and give it one of these, and then one of those, right, we're right along the edge of the field. So we're just going to do some back and forth passes. Get the cruise control set, slow this down. We'll do some back and forth passes because we've got the GPS, or sort of faux GPS, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Because we have that plugged in, we won't have any overlap. And we'll get this done, and then, like I said, we'll take this across the highway. We'll throw some seed in our seeder, take that up to field 12, is it? Take that up to field 12, get that going, run back across here, and then try to get some other things going down the south part of the farm. So, what's going on with this map? Why am I struggling? Because I can't, for the life of me, figure out why our workers are not working properly. We're having big problems with workers. We had problems with Courseplay and the AI helpers early days, so I disabled both those mods. I don't know if something is corrupt in the XML. I'm very reluctant to blame it on the map or the map maker. I have no indication or evidence that there's anything wrong with the map, so I'm reluctant to say, like, oh, you know, there's something going on with the map. You just can't use helpers on this map. I have no idea if that is the case or not, so we're not even going to speculate. I would guess that we had a mod conflict somewhere and it has corrupted some function in the XML, because even base game workers, when we were getting these fields plowed and cultivated during the night, base game workers would get to the end of a row with plenty of headland and they would turn in 3 circles and then do a couple figure eights before they started their next length. I've not seen that before. It's a bit odd. So because of that, we're having to do everything manually. And it's really, I don't know how many hours I have on the save game, but it is the morning of day 2, and we've really been hustling up to try to get things done on this farm, to the point where I don't know, I mean, I don't think we would be able to buy a whole lot more land than what we own right now and continue to work it with. We've got a leased tractor over there, and those three put together, even with our leased tractor being 280 horsepower, I want to say, we're still capped at about 6-meter equipment, and it's just really tough sledding, particularly when you have to do everything, if not 100% manually, then only using the base game worker, just doing lengths, because we do have some irregular fields. So I don't know. I mean, I want this map to work. I want all maps to work. I want all maps to be successful. I just don't know if it's going to be. And that's with the current equipment that we have. If you don't know, like, my methodology or how we end up where we end up on farms, when I load a new map, I typically sell all the equipment that's on that map. And then I just buy a tractor to drive around in and explore in. And that first tractor that I buy generally sets the tone for the fleet, whether it's brand or size or horsepower or country of origin or whatever. And so very often I'll find myself having bought a tractor and having begun to move the fleet in a certain direction, and then you realize, oh, that may not actually work for this map. But it's sort of too late, and I'm stubborn, and I got pride problems. I'll admit it. I got pride problems. So I'm reluctant to admit defeat. I'm reluctant to admit, no, this cannot work. It's just not, it can't work. So I'll fight through it. And I do like the 200 horsepower cap, the 3 to 4 meter cap for equipment. I really do like farming that way now. On some farms, it's very appropriate. On some farms, it's actually a little too big. But on this farm, just the opposite. It is just a little bit too small. I feel like we want to be 250 to 300 horsepower, and we want to be 6 and sometimes 9 meter equipment. I think that would be a much better use of resources and power on this farm. But sadly, I didn't set it up that way. So we're just going to make the best of it. But I think we can do it. Mostly what it's coming down to is an inability at the moment to use hired workers to do complex tasks, course play, and the AI helpers. So if we have to do everything either, like I said, manually or with base game workers, I just don't know 3 and 4 meter equipment. If we have to go 6 or 9 or 12 meter, then certainly, we're going to solve a lot of problems, because rather than our base game AI making 30 passes in a field, it's going to make 6 or 7. Is that right? Yeah, math. I'm no mathlete. 7 or 8. You know what I'm saying. It will significantly reduce the workload by approximately 60%. Yeah. Oh. But you see what I'm getting at. Cut in a headland. Cut in a 12 meter headland. There's plenty of room for the equipment to turn around. It makes a few passes on a base game worker, and Bob is your uncle, right? Bob actually is literally my uncle. So, right, that's going to make things a lot easier. I just don't know if we want to move in that direction, or if we did, if it would even make that much of a difference with no course play and no smart helpers. But we'll see. And in the meantime, you know what we're doing? We're playing a video game, we're farming, and we're having a great time. It's a fantastic map. I love the look of it. It's nice that the other map that we're on right now, the Western Shore, has all those elevation changes. And this one is a little bit more, I feel like we're almost in a floodplain here. I can see some hills around the outside. But in the center here, relatively flat, And so it's a different look, and it's definitely got a different feel to it, but they're both fantastic maps. I also like that we're playing 117 and 119. I know I really, it seems like I really have a lot of problems with 19, and I don't. It's a great game. It's just so different than 17. And 17 is a great game too, but it is also not perfect and not without problems. Mostly what we do is we just play both of them and have a great time. What do we do? Hang on. Let me get him sorted out on the GPS. I'm going to hit my coffee. Hang on. Perfect. So, what else is going on? Nothing. Yeah, as far as sim farming, nothing. I think FarmCon is going on right now, and that is Giants. Is it Giants that hosts it? Is it only for Farm Sim, or is it for all simulation farming? I don't know. A lot of it was in German, or possibly... Oh, Swiss doesn't have its own language. What is it? Schweizerdeutsch? I don't know. Anyway, I wasn't able to get the entire gist of the notification, but the impression that I got was there's a big sim farming conference going on right now. Sim farming convention. So I guess that's news, but unfortunately I don't go to things like that. Unfortunately, fortunately, could be either one. I'm fascinated that Giant seems to want to turn Farm Sim into Rust. They seem really hot on the idea of competitive farming and farm races and, that sort of stuff. Bale stacking contests. One of the things that I like about Farm Sim is it's not competitive, at least not the way I play it. It's super, super chill and super relaxing, and if you do get on multiplayer, it's collaborative. There's no competition. You're helping each other. You're not competing with each other. So it's interesting to see them doing it that way. I don't know how much of that comes down to money. A lot of things come down to money. And when you see the success of Rust and Fortnite and PUBG and War Thunder and some of these other games, as a developer, it's got to be challenging for you to realize, we might be doing okay, but we're not making PUBG money. What could we do? What could we do to get a little bit of that PUBG money? And who knows what they could do. But they're definitely, I've noticed that there definitely seems to be a push to make what I would describe as non-competitive games competitive. What can you do? So we got, looks like about one more length here, and then we'll bounce across the highway. And as always, I thought we would get a ton of stuff done this episode. I'm wondering now if we're going to get even half of what I thought we'd get done actually done. Because we're coming up on 15 minutes, and all we've done is spread pellet fert in this field. We still need to drive across the highway, refill the seed drill, take that around, get it started. I did cut a headland in, with base game workers. You got to cut a headland in. It's immersion breaking, but you really have no choice because they just don't like the edges of fields. So I did cut in a headland on the far side, and we will get that drill going and then come back over here and try to get this cultivator going. And if we get it going on a base game worker, then we'll hop in our 6R, our black 6R, and take that Faderstat drill down to field 77 is the most square field that we have, and I think that will be sort of a test of whether or not our base game workers can actually be productive without a ton of supervision. Because during the night, like I said, I was just tabbing back and forth between tractors because they all seem to be struggling. Right. So that is done. Here we go, across the highway. Whoa. I don't know what happened right there. Oh, okay. I was trying to turn off cruise control, and what I ended up doing was momentarily putting it back on a worker. My bad. Okay, here. Okay, here. Oh, hey, I got something funny to show you. So we're going to put this, let's drop this in here for now. So I think we can leave it right in the doorway. Yeah. Because we won't need our big spreader with the lime in it is in there, but we won't need that for a while. Right, so we drop that. We're going to pull this thing out into the open. All right. Concentrating. So set this right here. Open the cover. Put that down. Put that down. All right. And go get our front loader. But before I do that, here's the funny thing I want to show you. Remember we put some bales and we put our front loader into this shed right here. Well, when I went to get our front loader out, we had bales on this side, front loader on this side. The map has updated since our first save game. That's what I saw. I don't know if that's because we used the same save game, that we didn't start a new save game, or if possibly... I'm always reluctant to blame anything on a map maker. More than willing to say that that's my fault. But how surprised was I to come over here? Hey, let's get our front loader. Let's grab a bale. No, we will do neither of those things. So, had to get a new front loader. And I will, I could probably just sell the one that's in there. Can we not? Yeah, I think that might be the easiest way to do it. All right, so lift that up. Back it up through the bush. And we'll get this other pallet of seed into our drill. I imagine we'll use, for the 4 small fields, for the 4 small fields on the north side of the highway, I imagine we will use this and more. And then for the 4 big fields on the, let's say south or north, for the 4 small fields on the north side of the highway that we're going to use this drill for, I imagine we'll need a couple more pallets. And then for the big fields south of the highway, I think we're going to need the big 5,000 liter pallets. I got a couple of those to get started with, and we'll see how many more we need. Right, so we'll get this in here, and I believe this will consume the pallet. Beautiful. Set this right over here, and I'm going to, when I dropped this off the first time, it flipped around a little bit, so I'm actually going to drop the blades and then come back a little bit and then drop the front loader itself. Right, so there is that. We'll pick up our front weight again. Time 17 minutes. We're doing okay, doing okay. So we'll grab this. Right. Line that up a little better with our drone cam. Right, like so. Close the cover. Here we go. And it's, I wouldn't say it's right around the corner, but it's not terribly far. Although there is no, or at least I haven't found a pass-through from the sheep farm out to those fields. I think you do have to go out here to get to them. So, up here. And we do have 6-day seasons turned on, which is one of the reasons that I was kind of hustling up and trying to get work done during the night. With 6-day seasons, if we have to do everything manually, it is possible that we could, from time to time, run out of days to get things done. So I do want to, as much as possible, I want to kind of push and really try to get the most out of every day, even if it means doing things off camera. Right, so we're going to stop right here. Right. The hazards on. Right out here. Right. So don't need those anymore. Try to stay on the grass verge. And yeah, I mean, it is immersion breaking to do things sort of the opposite of how you would do them in real life, but needs must, yo. We got to do what we got to do to keep this farm operating. So, take this right over here. Line it up right about like so. Unfold. Unfold. Good to go there. Canola. Right. There we go. Beautiful. They seem to be doing all right. So now, can we hop through here? Close enough. Oh, hey. While we're here, let's go ahead and top off our water. All right. Beautiful. And then back across the highway. Hang on. Uh-huh. So it's not just me. Okay. Maybe we do need a new save game. Maybe this is the cause of all our problems. Huh. Okay. Well, I mean, I've got some hours into it. I hate to delete this save game. Let's just continue on, and I'll figure out what to do about that off camera. Okay. Right. So now, time, 21 minutes. Let's get a headland cut and see if we can put this on a hired worker as well. So here we go. Where's a good corner to start? Right back there, I suppose. And the thing about this, I wanted to go Amazon. I actually wanted to go Amazon for everything. You know, I get kind of OCD about equipment. So if we drop this here, there we go. I wanted to go Amazon for everything, and there is a 12-meter Amazon drill that we have enough horsepower for. My concern about using it is, like I was saying earlier, it's almost too big, and so I'm curious what would happen to our 200 horsepower maximum 3 to 4 meter goal if straight away, right, second day of spring, we jump from there to 12 meter. So that's why we went with the Vaderstadt at 6 meter, and we'll try to have some ground rules. Try to stick with our original goal for what kind of farm this is going to be. But I'm feeling like this is, I want to say the draw on this piece is 280 and our tractor is 250. It's the tractor, this rented tractor is just under the required horsepower or the recommended horsepower for this piece, and I feel like it's really pulling slow. I mean, well, that could be because it's a mod cultivator. It could be that that's how the modder has it set up, maximum speed of 9 or 10 kilometers per hour. That doesn't seem likely. That's awfully slow. So I think we're just under horsepowered. But you know what? It's our own fault. No one to blame but ourselves. Helper A is blocked by an object. This is what I'm talking about. It seems like it was during the night. It was just constantly tabbing from vehicle to vehicle because they were always blocked by objects that, once you tabbed into the vehicle, there was no object blocking it. It was just stopped. So we will let's do this. Let's go ahead and try to get our headland cut in here. Then we'll put this on a hired worker, and then you know what? Let's just call it right there. Let's get our headland cut in. We'll put this on a hired worker, and we'll end the episode. And then I'll try to get a lot of things sorted out off camera. You saw those overlapping. Oh, they're not really placeable items. I don't know what you would call those. Assets, models. You saw the overlap we were having in the sheep yard. That's got to be sorted out because as it is right now, we can't get a tractor into that pasture to feed the sheep. So I'll need to sort that out, and it could be that the update for Charwell does require a new save game, and that there's just nothing we can do about this. I mean, I suppose in a way that wouldn't be the worst thing, because we do have what I suspect is a corrupted XML, and so there would be no harm in starting over. I guess I just don't want to do all this work again, and I could do it off camera, but it's probably a good 10 or 12 hours of work now. So we'll see. Or you know what we could do? I know what we could do. We could start Charwell again, and then instead of buying the sheep farm down south and these fields down south, we could buy a dairy farm up north. Yeah, okay, that's a possibility. So rather than doing the same work twice to get everything back to where it is now, right? You see what I'm getting at? We would just restart the map, restart the save game, go with the same equipment, or at least the same 2 tractors, but just start up north and maybe go dairy or even pigs. I've never had luck with pigs. Never had luck, but at some point, maybe I will. So perhaps this is it. We'll figure it out. Let's get around the bend here. Yeah, I don't think 1 headland is going to be enough, but we'll try it. We'll try it and see. So right through here. Right through there. That was probably a little too tight a turn for a cultivator like that. You know, early days, yeah, going on 2 years ago, when I first started the channel, I recorded some farm sim videos, and at the end of rows, so in a regular field like this, at the end of rows, I was essentially just stopping where I would stop in a straight line. And one of my sort of pet peeves about the way people play this game, some people play this game, is it's like they're just painting fields, right? And they just go out and without any mind to realism or what equipment can do in real life, they just sort of paint the field from one stage to the next. And I've tried to avoid doing that, but there are times, like that turn that I just made with this cultivator, there are times when I do things that you could not or would not do in real life. And so early days on the channel, I was essentially doing what I had seen in fields in Pennsylvania where I grew up, where you would see a cornfield as an example. And the end of the cornfield would be zigzag, because at the end of every row, the farmer just stopped, right? And did not then go around and make a headland and smooth everything out. And so it was, I don't know if I can really, I don't think I have time right now to really recreate it, but I think you know what I'm talking about. No, I don't really have time to show you that. I'm looking at the clock here. So I guess what I'm getting at, as I drive on a field we just cultivated, I guess what I'm getting at is, I know I do break the immersion, and I know I do things that you shouldn't do. And I'm just curious where everybody draws the line for that when it comes to sim farming. I know some people could not care less. They just have fun, and they're not worried about realism. They're just having fun. And I know other people, man, I've seen people use Proceed in 17 to make tram lines that are like works of art. They're absolutely beautiful. And I have no idea how they did it, but I know it took an awful lot of time. And that is realistic, right? So everybody does it differently. Sorry, that was a bit of a rant. Right, so we'll get this going right here and right here. All right, here we go. Mostly I'm just curious to see what happens at the end of this row. Yeah, I don't think I gave them quite enough room to turn around, quite enough room to work. Although, maybe? Maybe? Oh. If everything's fine now. You gotta be kidding me. All right. Well then, we'll turn this off. And this will be our screenshot. There you have it. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 19. This is Charwell. We'll see you next time. Take care now.